Thank you all who are joined on the Saturday evening program of Bhagavad Gita discussion. I know others are going to join slowly, so we will start today the fourth chapter discussion. So, what is the fourth chapter is all about? The fourth chapter is all about Krishna. The fourth chapter is all about Krishna. Krishna means transcendental knowledge. So, very important for us to understand. Divya Gnan, the fourth chapter is titled The Transcendental Knowledge. What is the transcendental knowledge is all about? Krishna is transcendental. What does it mean Krishna is transcendental? Krishna is beyond the three modes of material nature. Let me just give you an example of what is transcendental means, what is divya means. For example, if there is a rain, what is the solution? If you are walking on the road and the rain starts coming, everyone starts searching for the shelter, or someone opens up the umbrella. So that is normal material solution in this world. But the eagle flies beyond the cloud. It goes above the cloud and it is unaffected by the turbulences of the rain. It is unaffected by things that are happening in the material world. So, we all living entities, the soul is transcendental, but it is caught within the material body, hence we are conditioned. What does conditioned means? Conditioned means being within this material world. When the difficulties come, we try to take the material solutions and take shelter of the material solution. Taking shelter of the material solution is like going and standing below the tree or holding the umbrellas, when the material problem comes. But going above the cloud is transcendental. And Krishna is eternally transcendental because he is unaffected by the three modes of material nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. So, how to know about Krishna? That is what the fourth chapter is all about. The transcendental knowledge. So, Krishna is transcendental. Our soul is transcendental. Hence, we are qualitatively similar to Krishna, but we are all Baddha Jivas, means we are eternally conditioned. Our natural position is to be liberated, but because of impurities of the heart we have come to this material world and we have taken this material body which has the problem of Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, birth, death, old age and disease. Because of that, we are under the shower of material problems. And when we are under the shower of material problems, our natural inclination is to take material solutions, not become like an eagle which goes above the cloud. So, Bhagavad Gita teaches us that while we take temporarily the shelter of umbrellas or going below the trees when the rain comes, we should practice to become like an eagle. What does it mean to become like an eagle? Go above the cloud means access the tools which are empowering us to become strong, to actually digest all these material problems and overcome these material problems. That is transcendental. What are the tools available to us in this world? Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. These are the tools and accessories that are available in this world to solve the material problems. That is all about the eternal education. What is eternal education is all about? Eternal education is about how, if you have an instrument, for example, with an instrument comes the manual. Our human body is like an instrument that is being gifted to us as soon as we have come to this material world. For this material body, we have Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, all the Vedic scriptures which are like manuals which guide us which teaches us what is the purpose of human life, how to utilize this human body. If you have a complicated machine without manual, you will not be able to successfully utilize the full usefulness of that machine. Similarly, the human body is a complex machine. If you really want to utilize the best use of the human body, you need to take shelter of Bhagavad Gita and all the Vedic scriptures. That is all the eternal education what Lord Krishna is going to speak about. The first part of 4th chapter is eternal education, where Lord Krishna is going to guide us. How do we understand the purpose of human life? The second part of 4th chapter is going to deal with Lord Krishna is going to solve all the misconceptions we have about the religion, the spirituality, and to give a true understanding of the spiritual culture. The third part of the 4th chapter is going to speak about what are the benefits of spiritual education, spiritual practices. How can we destroy our karmic bank balance while we are living in this world? The destroying the karmic bank balance is not possible unless and until we sacrifice. This is a prerequisite for acquiring the spiritual knowledge. That is the 4th part of the 4th chapter. Okay? So we are going to start the first part of the 4th chapter, where Lord Krishna is going to speak on eternal education. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivashvan Manavipraha Manur Ikshakave Abhrave. So Arjuna, Lord Krishna speaks about how to follow, what is the perfection of the Karma Yoga. Lord Krishna culminates 3rd chapter with surrender to him. So now Arjuna asks, what is the process of surrender? How to surrender? What is the direction we need to follow? Now Lord Krishna speaks about how he has provided a spiritual education system for all the living entities who have taken birth in this material world. Imam vivashvate yogam proktavan aham avyayam vivaswan manavipraha manur ikshakave abraved. The personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivashwan, and Vivashwan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind. And Manu, in turn, instructed it to Ikshvaku. So Lord Krishna is telling here, Bhagavad Gita is not an accidental eruption from the head of Lord Krishna. It is a systematic science. Bhagavad Gita, the science of God, has been existing eternally. It didn't just fly out from the Lord Krishna's mind, seeing the challenges Arjuna was facing. This education is been eternally existing. Lord Krishna is telling this same science of yoga, he gave it to the sun god. Why Lord Krishna is mentioning about sun god? We need to understand, sun is the preliminary requisite for formation of any materialistic creation. Any material creation means you need to have sun. Without sun, I don't think none of the planets are going to actually sustain. Yat chakshuresha sabita sakala grahana. You know, sun and the moon are like the eyes of Krishna. When Krishna appears, when creation happens, sun immediately appears in this world. And Lord Krishna is saying he gave the knowledge of this Bhagavad Gita to the sun god, because anyone who want to properly discharge their duties, they need to understand why they have taken birth in this world. Lord Krishna understands that. Lord Krishna gave this knowledge to sun god, Lord Krishna gave this knowledge to Lord Brahma as well. Why? Because they are the, preliminary acharyas or the teachers who have given us a spiritual education. Then Lord Krishna says the Vivashwan instructed it to Manu, who is the first, what do you say? Manu is the first father of the mankind. He was given the occupation of generating the population of this world. Manu in turn instructed to the greatest king of the earthly planet, Ikshvaku, where Lord Ramachandra comes and takes appearance in the dynasty. Yeah. So, what do we learn from this? From this, we learn that Bhagavad Gita is not an artificial or an accidental education that is being given for a temporary resolution of a problem which Arjuna was facing. So the next verse, Evam parampara praptam imam rajashayo viduh sakalanena mahata yogo nashta parantapa. So once this knowledge being given, in the due course of time, this knowledge starts degrading. Why? Because of material contaminations. So this supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So as Lord Krishna gave this knowledge to the sun god gave it to Manu, Manu gave it to Ikshvaku, and from Ikshvaku, all the kings of this earthly planet received this knowledge. And because of the rulers and the leaders not serious about the spiritual education, not giving importance to the spiritual education, and becoming entangled in the material duties, that knowledge slowly started breaking from one generation to the next generation to the next generation to the next generation. That is the problem we are having today. Just look at just two generations above us. Two generations above us, they were, spiritually serious personalities. When they used to come together, they used to discuss about, not about Salman Khan or, all these Bollywood stars or any, cricket stars or anyone. They used to discuss about Krishna, they used to discuss about Bhagavad Gita. Today we are contaminated. We need to understand that. How much discussion we do on the spiritual topics on what is the purpose of human life when we get together. Machittaha madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam katayantascha mam nityam, Krishna says. Whenever two people meet, they should try to discuss as much as possible practically about Krishna. That is devotional relationship. But if you have a this kind of conversation, you are tagged as a fanatical person in this world today. Because of this, people have time to discuss about political issues, people have time to discuss about social issues, people have time to discuss about the issues and challenges in the Bollywoods, Hollywoods, all other entertainment areas, sports, daily affairs, but they don't have time to discuss about the purpose of human life, Bhagavad Gita. Because of that, 2 generations above, they had seriousness. Today, absolutely 98% of the youths do not know who their real heroes are today. What is the objective of festivals today? Why? Because of no interest about spiritual culture. Just imagine, next 2 generations, what is going to be the challenges we are facing, because I'm seeing only less participants today. Why? No seriousness. Absolutely no seriousness. When we are serious about spiritual culture, we try to understand what is the purpose of human life. When we are not serious about spiritual culture, all the other places, entertainment places in the world gets crowded. The topics of Bhagavad Gita, the people who can hear are extremely less. Hence, Krishna is saying, I have to come again, because when the chain gets broken, Lord Krishna is telling why he appeared in this world. The succession was broken, therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. So, how does the succession happens? When Lord Krishna creates this entire creation, the entire knowledge of the spiritual education, the purpose of human life, the eternal occupation of human beings are distributed through the 4 bona fide sampradayas. One is propagated by Sri Lakshmi Ji herself, which is Sri Sampradaya. Today, 99% of the Sri Sampradaya is destroyed. Unfortunately. Because none of the people, I'm not saying about one Sampradaya, no Sampradaya is today is at its purity, because the people put tilak, they will be holding the cigarette in their hand and a glass of whiskey. Absolutely no synchronization between the appearance they have and the activities they do. That is why Srila Prabhupada was extremely serious when he actually gave Krishna consciousness. He said, Krishna consciousness is for first-class citizens. It is not for ordinary people. And the other bona fide lineage is coming directly from Lord Brahma, where Madhvacharya appeared. That is Madhva Sampradaya, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, which become Madhva Gauriya Sampradaya. And under the lineage of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Srila Prabhupada appeared, and who established ISKCON, which is the spiritual education center all over the world. So, the Sampradaya or the lineage, the disciplic succession. Sampradaya is not about, please don't get confused about ritualistic Sampradayas of where to keep the tamarind rice on your banana leaf, where to keep gaskase paisa on your banana leaves, or kosambri on your banana leaves. This is not a Sampradaya. People unnecessarily fight about this. Our Sampradaya is so great. Why? We put payasa from the start. Your Sampradaya is actually you put kheer in the middle of the lunch. This is a ignorant fools are fighting on something which is superficial. That is not Sampradaya. Please understand that. Whether you put kheer in the middle or kheer in the first or kheer in the late, it has nothing to do with the Sampradaya. Sampradaya means spiritual education, spiritual mood of building relationship with Krishna. That is Sampradaya. Sri Sampradaya speaks a lot about how to worship Krishna in a mood of service, where Sripad Ramanuja appeared. And they focus more on the deity worship. Brahma Mahatma Sampradaya speaks more about spiritual education as the primary tool for developing relationship with Krishna. Similarly, other two Sampradayas coming from Lord Shiva and four Chaturkumaras, where Vishnu Swami and Nimbakacharya were the accelerators in those Sampradayas. Yeah? So please do not mistake when I say Sampradaya, those are all not Sampradayas, but they have been quoted as Sampradayas today, and all our festivals, Sampradaya means how to eat, that's all. Nothing other than that. Please do not, there is no education needed on how to eat today. People are all mastermind on how to eat. Today there are more channels on cooking, because people only see that urge of the belly is the major objective of human life. That is required, no doubt about it. But at the same time, urge of our mind, intelligence, false ego to actually embrace spiritual culture is also very much needed. So the disciplic succession of Brahma Madhva Gauriya Sampradaya, where Srila Prabhupada appeared, comes from straight from Lord Krishna through the various disciplic succession. Here 32 personalities are given. It doesn't mean that there are hundreds and thousands of the acharyas in this disciplic succession. It is only the primary acharyas has been named. Yeah? There are many acharyas who have not been named here. But doesn't mean that their contribution is not there. Yeah? 4.3 स एवायं मया ते अद्य योगः प्रोक्ता पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं हि एतदुत्तमम्. The very ancient science of relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Lord Krishna is telling why I am actually giving the same science of yoga, Bhagavad Gita, and you are the recipient today. Just like Sun became the recipient, Manu became the recipient, Ikshvaku became the recipient, Arjuna is more prominent here among all except the Sun and the Brahma, Lord Brahma, because he is directly getting the same education from Krishna. Most luckiest. Why? Krishna is saying, Bhaktosi me sakacheti. What is the qualification to receive Bhagavad Gita? The person needs to be a devotee of Krishna. If person reads Bhagavad Gita and doesn't even have the picture of Krishna, or doesn't even mention the name of Krishna, he is not a devotee, no matter how famous he might be. We see so many famous personalities when I look into the YouTube, whom I become very affectionate to. They are like a nationalist who are trying to protect the nation, but when they pick up and read Bhagavad Gita, they don't even speak about Krishna, devotion to Krishna, which is the whole objective of Bhagavad Gita. They keep one nationalist leader in front of them and read Bhagavad Gita. There is absolutely no relationship, no mention of Krishna in the recital of Bhagavad Gita. What is the whole purpose of reading Bhagavad Gita? Krishna is mentioning, if you really want to understand Bhagavad Gita, Bhaktos ime sakacheti, you need to be a friend of Krishna, you need to be a devotee of Krishna. What does it mean by devotee of Krishna? Very, very important for us to understand. I will give you a small example to understand the substance of becoming a devotee. What is the substance of becoming a devotee means? For example, once a king wanted to select his ministerials, his cabinet. He wanted to identify who are the qualified people in my cabinet. So he identified prominent people in his kingdom and he planned how to identify them. So he went to accidentally, hidingly meet all of them. And he ensured on their path, he dropped his diamond ring. He dropped the diamond ring on the path of those prominent people who he thought can be part of his cabinet. He wanted to check among those who are all the qualified people. So the one person who saw the ring, diamond ring on his path, immediately picked it up. And he became completely happy that I am going to be the rich person today. I have got a diamond ring. He just put it in his pocket. The second person who came in the path just saw the ring. And he saw and he said, it doesn't belong to me. And he just walked. And the third person who saw the king's diamond ring on his path picked it up and saw the mudra in the ring. And immediately he ran to the king saying that, "O king, O my lordship, your ring has fallen in the path. It belongs to you. I have come to give it to you." Then the king decided, among all of you, you are the most qualified person, and the first person, the king asked the minister to, imprison him. So the first person was a bogi, the second person was a tyagi, which is not going to be the goal of human life. Because everything belongs to Krishna, we should be in a position to utilize it, understand the owner of that. And the third person was the bhakta, as a devotee. So king said he is the confidential person and he should be the person who can actually lead our path. Do you understand what does it mean? In this story, hidden is the essence of devotion. What is the essence of devotion? Essence of devotion means prapanchikaya buddhya hari sambandhi vastunaha. Everything in this world belongs to Krishna. Yat karoshi yadashnasi yajjuhoshi dadasi yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kuru madarpanam. Everything in this world belongs to me. Whatever activities you do as an offering to me. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. The third person did the right thing because he followed the same instruction as Bhagavad Gita. Kings are considered to be the face as good as God. So Arjuna considered Krishna as the personality who can save him in all challenges that he is facing in this world. He sacrificed material ambitions and he put Krishna in front of all those energies of Krishna. That is why Arjuna was selected as a devotee, not Duryodhana. So Bhaktos ime sakacheti. If you really want to understand Bhagavad Gita, you need to be like an Arjuna. No matter whatever the nationalist people might say, using Bhagavad Gita as a Hindu Rashtra, trigger everyone to be a Hindu. No doubt about it, it is required. But his true understanding of Bhagavad Gita is to understand what conclusion Arjuna reached, what conclusion Sanjaya reached. We also need to reach the same conclusion. If we do not reach the same conclusion, there is no benefit. There is a benefit of reading Bhagavad Gita, but it is not complete benefit. That very ancient science of relationship of Supreme Lord Krishna is choosing today to tell that to Arjuna. So this is a statistical, this one, of years and years. 5,000 years of Kali Yuga, which lasts 432,000 years. Before this, there was Dwapar Yuga, 800,000 years. Before that, there was Treta Yuga, 1,200,000 years. Then, thus, how many? 2,005,000, right? Years total. Manu spoke Bhagavad Gita to his disciple, Maharaj Ikshvaku. The age of the current Manu is calculated as, what is that? 305, I don't know. It's very arithmetic, it's very, very difficult to. 30 crore 53 lakhs, yeah. So earthly, 1 point, I think, 12 crores, 400,000, I don't know. Accepting that, so yeah, 12 crore 4 lakhs. Yeah, so this is all statistical. We can understand how old is the science of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Arjuna uvacha aparam bhavato janma param janma vivasvatah katam etat vijaniyam tvam ado proktavan. Arjuna said, Sun God Vivaswan is senior by birth to you. How am I to understand that in the beginning you instructed this knowledge to him, this science to him? Arjuna is considering Krishna as his friend and a contemporary partner. Because Arjuna has eaten in the same plate along with Krishna. They have played together. They have roamed around, and Arjuna considers him as a friend. Arjuna doesn't understand Krishna is a Puratana. Ishvaraha Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadhir Adhir Govinda. He is the Sarva Karana Karanam. He is the cause of all causes. The one personality, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. One eternal living entity who has created all the eternal parts and parcels, separated parts and parcels. Arjuna doesn't understand. He is speaking to the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is asking, could you please clarify? How am I to understand that you know Sun God? This is the question Arjuna is asking. So, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Krishna is responding now. Bahuni me vatitani janmani tavacha Arjuna tani aham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. The personality of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer of enemy. So Krishna is telling Arjuna, educating Arjuna, who Krishna is, who Arjuna is. Arjuna can only understand problems of his body. He cannot understand the challenges, the problems of the other body, other human bodies. Krishna, Sarvasya Chaham, Shruti Sannivishto, Matasprutir Gnanam Apohanam Cha. Krishna being seated in each and everyone's heart can understand as a Paramatma the problems of each and every human ecosystem. You don't need to tell what is the problem you are going through. Lord knows about it. And Lord knows about it because this world itself is Dukkalayam Ashashvatam. So, we need to take shelter of him. So, Lord Krishna remembers your past, present and future. Don't be proud that when the wave 3 is going to start of Corona, Lord knows already when is going to be, when is the destruction is going to happen next. When is the natural calamities is going to happen next. You might be wondering about technology, become puffed up, saying that I know wave 3 when it is going to happen. All this being the human creations because of greed, because of enmity, because of urge to control this world. But that doesn't stop. That doesn't prove that we are technologically we know everything. You can only know when the wave 3 is going to start because human only do it. But Krishna knows when the destruction is going to happen. Krishna knows what is going to be the future of you. Do you want to take suggestions from Krishna or just worry about wave 3, wave 4 and just be happy about it? We need to understand from Krishna for our own benefits. The personality of God, it's in many births. You and I have taken birth. I know all past, present and future. You don't know. You know only your present, what has happened in previously, what is current. You don't know about future also. So Krishna now talks about his divine, his transcendental knowledge. 4.6 Ajo api san avyayatma bhutanam ishwaropi san prakritim swam adhishtaya sambhavami atma mayaya. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all the living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Ajo means unborn, avyaya means imperishable. We are perishable because birth, death, old age and disease we are actually subjected to. Our body decays. Krishna's body never decayed, although he lived for hundreds of years in this world. Krishna chose to be in a youthful form before even his disappearance. I was actually discussing with my classmates today about Krishna's appearance and disappearance. People consider Krishna's disappearance is like other ordinary human beings' disappearance. They actually use the word of death. Death only applies to living beings. It doesn't apply to Krishna. Why Krishna out of his own free will appears and out of his own free will disappears, and while disappearing, he creates a scenario to give us education as well there. While he is disappearing, he creates an education because each and every activities of the Lord is meant for our education. And that education, we get bewildered. We start thinking Krishna is like us. Why? Krishna died. Krishna didn't die. Krishna disappeared. He gave an opportunity for another person. Krishna, how is it possible for a Krishna to die out of one arrow when he can take thousands of arrows? And that to the feet. This is just a pastime. Please do not get bewildered. If you get bewildered, you will not be able to understand Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is imperishable. What is avyaya means? Avyayatma, his soul and the body is not different. Our soul and the body are two different entities altogether. Our soul is the cage of a human body. Krishna, there is no soul for Krishna. Krishna is the Paramatma Satchidananda Vigraha. The entire personality is the Paramatma. There is nothing called Krishna's body and Krishna's soul. There is nothing called like that. Bhutanam Ishwaropisan, he is the controller of all the living entities. Prakritim Swam Adhishtaya. Sambhavami Atma Mayaya. Even though he is controller of entire world, he comes to this world. There is no need for a, for example, if you are a proprietor of thousands of hospitals, you don't need to go to each and every hospitals to check what is happening. You can just make a phone call and tell the authorities in the hospitals, take care of that. Krishna, out of mercy, out of compassion for all the living entities, appears in this world. And when he appears, his appearance is not like our birth. Why? Atma Mayaya. He comes because of his own free will. What does it mean out of his own free will? For example, a prisoner has to follow the rules and regulations of the prison. He has to eat what the food been given, he has to sleep on time, he has to get up on time, he has to perform certain activities, job that has been given to him. He has to behave properly. But a warden of a jail, he can move freely in the jail. Though he comes to the jail doesn't mean that he is subjected to the rules of the jail. He has his own life outside the jail. Similarly, Lord Krishna has his own, life outside this material world. He comes to this material world out of his own free will. Why he comes? Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adhammasya tadatmanam sujamyaham. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bharata, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanirbhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam sujamiham. Whenever there is a chaos that happens, Krishna comes to actually re-establish the dharma. Now you can say, they see what is happening. The Taliban is fighting, and there are all kinds of rogues and terrorists are occupied, and they are using, ignorantly utilizing so-called spiritual education they define under the code for killing people. Kali Yuga, Lord will never appear. Lord, Kali Yuga is going to automatically deteriorate. Lord will never appear in the personal form in Kali Yuga except during the destruction as a Kalki avatar. And Kalki has already started. We are destroying ourselves. Taliban is attacking America. America is attacking Russia. Russia is attacking other countries. Everyone are attacking each other. They will only perish. Kalki also need to rethink now whether he needs to come. Because we know only one thing, which is to destroy ourselves. Now the 5G has come, technological advancement. We are only creating problems for ourselves. Nothing else. In the name of advancement, we are destroying ourselves today. People don't get married and they sleep with someone. Today that has become a normal life. If you go to Bombay, 60% of the youths don't get married. Is it Indian culture? Absolutely not. They are, they are humbly receiving with a folded hand those vomited by the Western countries with a gold plate and drinking it. This is the fate of Indians. Having affairs before marriage is a Western culture. We are thinking, oh, we are great, we are Western minds. Hell with your Western minds. This is nothing to do with our Indian culture. Our Indian culture is a proven, timely tested lifestyle that has given happiness to each and every living entity in this world. Today you are trying to adulterate it. with so-called advancement. What is that advancement is all about? Hence, in Kali Yuga, we are going to destroy ourselves if we do not accept Krishna consciousness with a humble state of mind. Now is the time to embrace Bhagavad Gita. Because otherwise, we just have to wait till the Kalki comes. When the Kalki comes, already we would have, our body would be an inauspicious hell. Kalki doesn't need to do much. Already our auspiciousness is reducing. If you just see our human body auspiciousness, where is auspiciousness? 99% of the time we are dwelling in inauspicious things. Where is the possibility of becoming auspicious? We are thinking about how to create problems for others, how to earn money more than others. We are envious, we are jealous, we are greedy, we are violent. For our own belly, we don't mind killing anything which comes in front of us. What is auspiciousness what we have today? Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chuchuskrutam dharma samsthapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Lord Krishna appeared just before the beginning of Kali Yuga, in the Dwapar Yuga. Lord Krishna appeared and educated, and Vyasadeva wrote everything, because we foolish people will only now go and take shelter of all mobiles and laptops. So he knew that our remembrance will be so short-lived that we need everything written. So Vedavyas did such a compassionate work. He wrote all the instructions of human mankind in the written form and gave it to us, all the scriptures. Paritranaya sadhunam. When Lord Krishna comes, his primary objective is to protect the devotees, not to kill the miscreants. Miscreants can be killed through his agencies. He doesn't need to kill himself, but he does it to actually teach all of us his supremacy. That's all. He doesn't need to suck the milk from the breast of Putana and kill her, and also give her a status of a mother in the spiritual world. Why he does that? He wants to establish the supremacy, and as well as to show his compassionate nature. So Lord Krishna in the Kali Yuga has come in the form of the holy name, and the distribution of the holy name, which is done by so many prominent acharyas in this world. And Krishna appeared himself as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to accelerate the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Who are the devotees who are helping us to take shelter of Krishna by chanting the names of the holy names are nothing but the compassionate instruments of Krishna. Paritranaya sadhunam. We need to remember this verse. We need to be grateful that Krishna is coming in form of devotees. Our eyes should be swelled with tears. That means that we are valuing devotional relationship. Dharma samsthapanataya. Devotees are meant to establish dharma. Sambhavami yuge yuge. In the Kali Yuga, Lord Krishna appears in the name of holy name, in the form of the holy name. Janma karma cha me divyam yevam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti so Arjuna. Translation. One who, where is that? Where? One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attain my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Krishna is telling why to know him. Why Krishna? Because he is the only way by which we can get out of this world, material world. Dukkalayam ashashvatam. Janma, karma, chame divyam. We need to understand Janma, appearance of Krishna. His appearance is different from the birth of us. Karma, his activities are different from our activities. He is not bounded to take care of all those 900,000 cows, but Krishna does it and makes that entire occupation glorious. That is the karma activities of Krishna. Krishna is not bounded by that, but he does that. Janma, karma chame divyam, evam yo veti tatvatah. When we understand the appearance and activities of the Lord, tatvatah, on the platform of absolute truth, on the absolute platform and not on the relative platform. Today the weather is, I can define the weather as hot in Mysore because it is relative. The days have been so colder, today is little bit humid. Today, if I say today is hot, that is a relative truth. It is not absolute truth. Tattvataha, the absolute plane of knowledge, means it is true in all the circumstances. Any knowledge in this world is relative. But birth, death, old age and disease is absolute. Doesn't matter you are an Australian, Indian, American, Japanese, Chinese, Taiwanese or Australian. Birth is going to come, death is going to come, old age is going to come, disease is going to come. This is absolute. Our relationship with Krishna is absolute. Doesn't matter whether you are a Bin Laden or a Donald Trump. You are all under the control of Krishna. You are all children of Krishna. Krishna is not the father of Indians or Americans or New Zealand or Australians or Japanese or Taiwanese or Chinese. There was, when the mankind started, there was only one country, that was Bharatavarsha. Just like Bangladesh, Pakistan and all those things have taken place, splitted over the years, the entire Bharatavarsha has been split into various countries today. So, janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvatah tyaktva deham. When we understand Krishna's appearance and my appearance are different, Krishna's activities and my activities are different, Krishna's activities are transcendental, my activities are conditional. My birth is conditioned, Krishna's birth is transcendental. Naiti mameti. So Arjuna, you don't need to take birth again in this world. That is the promise Krishna is giving to all of us. How do we understand what is the appearance and activities of Krishna? We need to understand the entire Bhagavad Gita. 10th verse. Vitaraga bhaya krodha manmaya mamupashitah baho gnana tapasa puta madbhavamakatah. Being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowing me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. So Krishna is giving Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha, that is prerequisite. We need to become freed from attachment, fear and anger. When we are freed from this attachment, fear and anger, we get an opportunity to absorb in Krishna, take shelter of Krishna. Anything you sweat in this world, we become attached to. House we become attached to, children we become attached to, wife we become attached to, job we become attached to, our wealth we become attached to, our beauty we become attached to. Anything you sweat in this world, normal conditioned nature is that we become attached. As soon as we become attached, we are fearful who is going to take over. Most of the wealthy people in this world, most of the industrial leaders in this world do not get sleep properly in the night. They are all worried about their competitors. What is going to happen? The trade, Bitcoin. What is the value that Bitcoin is going to rise? What is going to happen if it falls down? What happens if I lose my richest tag? As soon as the attachment is there, fear comes. Anger. Fear leads to anger as well, and unfulfilled desires leads to anger as well. If you are not able to achieve what we are able to achieve in this world, the immediate point is the anger that comes. Unfulfilled desires leads to anger. For example, if you dream about your wife who is going to cook and feed you nicely tomorrow morning, and if she doesn't even wake up, you become angry, because the expectation was high that you are going to wake up and cook. Right? I'm just giving a simple example you can all relate to. So we need to come out of attachment, fear and anger. Yasyam Vaishruyamananam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktir Utpadayet Pumsam Shokamoha Bhayapaha. Vedavyas says in Bhagavatam, Yasyam Vaishruyamananam, as soon as we hear about Krishna Paramapurushe, Bhaktir Utpadayet Pumsam, as soon as we develop devotion for Krishna, Shoka Moha Bhayapaha, lamentation goes, illusion goes, fear goes. These are the three ingredients which entangle us in this world, which make us to fear and make us to, suffer in this world. Our suffer is not due to BP or anything else. Our suffer is due to Shoka Moha Bhayapaha, lamentation, illusion and fear. All the other things comes. All this BP, sugar and all are just a material definition of the Vedic disease, which is Janma, Mrityu, Chara, Vyadhi, the Shoka, Moha, Bhayapaha. If we can take out this Shoka, lamentation, illusion and fear, we would be a peaceful and happy person. Yasyam Vaishruyamananam. As soon as we hear about this, Shoka Moha Bhayapaha, immediately these three diseases runs away. Once these three diseases is over, we'll be the happiest people in this world. For that, we need to chant the names of Krishna. Puta Mad Bhavam Agataha. Having been purified, he attains the transcendental love for me. What is the purification? We need to purify from attachment, fear and anger. Why? These are all impurities. Kalai dosha nidai rajan asti eka mahan gunaha kirtana deva krishnasya. In Kali Yuga, Kalai dosha nidai rajan. Everyone has these impurities. What is the only medication? Kirtana deva krishnasya. By only this, we will be able to come out of this and become happy, healthy and blissful. That's why in scriptures keep on they mentioning about glories of chanting the names of Krishna, and it's considered to be the Yuga Dharma, the occupation of living entities in Kali Yuga. Do not take it cheaper. Chanting the names of Krishna is not a cheap material. Oh, he is a very, very primeval person because he is chanting Krishna's name. That is a myth, that is an ignorance. People who make fun, do not yield to them. Do not yield. A sober person takes up chanting the names of Krishna, not a fearful person. A fearful person takes the names of Krishna during the Corona times. Oh, if I become, if I come out of Corona, I will fully surrender to Krishna. But when Corona goes, again he starts dancing like Shah Rukh Khan and enjoying. That is a cheating mentality. Third class people. Krishna keeps on giving us the education. When the problem comes, we start thinking about Krishna. When the problem goes away, we also keep Krishna in the car, in our put Krishna in the dustbin and we start enjoying. That is a problem of this world. You don't know whom to respect, whom not to respect. Those who need to be in the royal throne are being thrown into the dustbin, and those who need to be in the dustbin have been taken and have been washed every day and put in the royal throne. All those Bollywood personalities, political personalities, and those corporate heroes, they have been put on the political throne, and every day decorating them. How decorating them? Keep on glorifying them. That is the disease of Kali Yuga. Iti Shodashakanamnam Kali Kalmashanashanam. This 16 syllables, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This 16 syllables is powerful. Sober person can take it. A person who has guts is able to chant. Not those people who take shelter of all the other impurities like, all kinds of, intoxications in this world to forget the problems of this world. Those people are the weakest personalities in this world because they don't have, the guts to do a lifestyle arrangement. Simple techniques. If you are cooking in the morning, just take bath and cook. And if you are cooking, cook for Krishna and offer it to Krishna and have simple adjustments. This simple adjustment becomes a big problem for us. Oh, I need to take bath. It is scientifically proven. If you are slept, you do so many activities in the night and body is impure. Please take the bath and come in a fresh mind and cook. It is good for everyone. Ahara Suddha Sattva Shuddhi. It is technically proven, and they are going to get a Nobel Prize again in America for holding this. And stupid Indians will just keep on saying that this is all mythology. I'm little heavy today, but digest. I'm requesting all of you. So, it is very, very important. Sacrifice, little bit of sacrifice is needed. Readjustment of our life is needed. Taking bath and coming and cooking, what is the big problem? And not tasting the food and cooking for Krishna, what is the big problem? One of the famous restaurant person had come just 2 days back. Very famous restaurant person in Mysore. When I gave him the prasad, entire playing the plate, he started asking, what is the menu? How did you cook? I told him the cake is without eggs. The North Indian palak sabji is without onion or without garlic. He was surprised. I don't want to name the restaurant. Famous restaurant in Mysore. But as soon as you take the names of Krishna, people may not come. Why people won't come if you can cook healthy food for them? Readjustment we need to do. Reprioritization we need to do. That is Krishna consciousness. When we do that, purified by the knowledge of me, only the knowledge can purify us. Only the knowledge can purify us, nothing else. Thus they all attain transcendental love for me. To get love for your beloved girlfriend, you sweat day and night. Plan day and night how to actually, make her your fiancé. Is it so cheap to get Krishna? I I don't think so. We need to be serious. That is Krishna consciousness. Don't take spirituality as a cheap, process, and don't take spirituality as a mythological process. Krishna is not mythology. Bhagavad Gita is not a mythology. Our Vedic scriptures are not mythology. They are proven, timeless techniques that is being given from the Creator Krishna himself for the benefit of all living entities, so that they can actually become happy, holy and healthy in this world. And there's only one possibility in Kali Yuga, by chanting the names of Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.